But you don't want to leave us because it's not the only race here at the Speedway. We're getting ready for another one. How about it, Jamie Little?
That's right, Marty Reed. It's time for the Indy Pro Series race. You know, this is like the stepping stone to the IndyCar Series. And since its inception in 2002, we've seen hundreds maybe of graduates that have gone on to other series, most notably the IndyCar Series. Now in Sunday's Indianapolis 500, 7 graduates of this race, the Indy Pro Series, are competing. Now, some of the IndyCar owners are even taking notice of this series. Most notably, this year, Chip Ganassi has gotten involved, as well as Panther Racing. Now, another owner who's fielding a car in the Indy 500 this year, and he's been dominant in this series, is Sam Schmidt. Brian Pedigo standing by with his driver.
Well, his driver is actually still making his way down to the track. I'm standing in front of his car right here on pit lane. But Alex Lloyd, Sam Schmidt's driver, has been eyed by some pretty heavy hitters in open wheel racing, from Formula One even to our own IndyCar Series, and for very good reason. Lloyd has won every single race so far this season. He has mastered the road course here at Indianapolis, but he's yet to win on the famed 2.5-mile oval. Will today be his day? Can Lloyd make it 4 in a row? Well, we'll find out soon.
Checkered flag comes out. Alex Lloyd wins. Double checkers wave, and Alex Lloyd has won his second race of the year. Alex Lloyd is going to win his 3rd consecutive Indy Pro Series race.
We've had a good start. It's been gone perfectly, really. I mean, we came into the first few races knowing that a good result in the first 3 was very key to the championship. It's important for me to try and do the best job I can. So I know there's a lot of people watching this year, so to start off the way we have is a perfect situation for me. I really want to step up the IndyCar Series. My first time I ever watched Indy 500 was last year, and I watched that race and very quickly decided that I want to be racing in Indy 500. I want to win this race more than anything. Indy? We came to Indianapolis with 2 suitcases each, and we got married. As a European driver especially, coming over and getting married in Indianapolis, one of the most famous places in motorsport, was quite a special thing. We bought our first house here in Indianapolis, and it's really just been going better and better and better. We've even named one of our dogs Indy. It was a big move for me to come over here for racing and move away, but it was a much bigger move for my wife Sam, really, because I've got to go over here for my racing. This is something I've been working on, and she decided that, you know, I want to come with you and we'll make this work together. And to have a girl that will move over across the world and give up everything that she's been doing to follow my career, that's something pretty cool. I just love the place. I love being near the Speedway. I love being a part of the racing community over here. I feel more at home than I ever did in England. It just seems to have been a lucky place, and I wanted to stay around this as much as possible.
And there is Alex as he's making his way down towards the front of the starting grid. He'll be on the outside of row number 1. And as we take a look at his pro career, 13 starts, 5 wins. You take that win percentage any chance you could, wouldn't you, Scott Goodyear?
Absolutely. You know, he obviously has a great shot today, but one thing I do have to think about is that the situation is, yes, everybody's looking at you here, and if you win, you're in front of the world. But if you make a mistake, it's also a highlight, guys.
Well, and he's on the outside of row number 1. It's a good spot.
That's a great spot. He's won all the races, and just like Scott said, he's got the world looked at him. All the car owners are here. They can't wait to see how this race is going to turn out and look for new talent.
But there is one thing he needs to think about. The winner of this race has always come from pole. Stay with me. In 3 tries has made 2007 Indy Pro Series season the Alex Lloyd Show. Today at the Brickyard, Lloyd looks to tie a series record with his 4th straight victory. Future stars of IndyCar shine on Carb Day. The Indy Pro Series Freedom 100 is next. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Carb Day may be over, but the action certainly is not. The largest field ever here for the Freedom 100. 40 laps. This is a sprint race, folks. It's not 500 miles. It's 100 miles, and it's the fastest man to the stripe that will win it. Is it going to be Lloyd? Well, the fact is he has to be the pre-race favorite. He's won every single race so far this year, but the history of this event is that the pole sitter has always been the winner. But here's the thing that stands out. Out of the 24 drivers, Rusty, 15 are rookies. It's got to be a lot of nerves.
Oh, a lot of them are rookies out there, Marty, and they're all looking around trying to do the best job they possibly can because all the car owners are looking, the fans are looking, and they're at the biggest speedway, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
You know something I think about when I was driving these type of races in front of a Formula One crowd back in Montreal? As you mentioned, Rusty, you know the team owners are looking at you, and the key thing is you want to make a good impression. But you also know that if you make a mistake, that's a bad impression. But no different than the big cars. These guys have to make sure they have the gear ratios right, the drafting down, and they can't make a mistake because they have to be there to win at the end.
Well, let's check in down pit lane. First up, Jamie Little.
Well, Marty, big surprise on the pole here. A 46-year-old rookie, Ken Losh. He's a real estate developer from Phoenix. Showed up here at Indianapolis. His first ever time running here, he got the pole. You see him in the cockpit right there. I asked him, what is your strategy running down to that green flag for the first time ever? He said, win. I said, do you have the car to do it? He said, we sure do. Nothing like confidence to take you into turn one as a rookie. Brienne?
Well, the guys mentioned that there are 15 rookies in today's field. Now, it's one thing to make your very first IPS start, but it's quite another to do that at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and that's exactly what two of the drivers will do here today. Shane Yancey and the 6 you see right now of Mark Williams. Now, that car, the number 6, had to undergo some suspension repairs yesterday after Williams got it a little bit tangled in the fence during a practice. But I can tell you that when the 18-year-old climbed in that cockpit, he had a big smile on his face, and he can't wait for that green flag.
All right, thanks, ladies. I think we've made a little history of our own. We have our first 2 female reporters covering the same race. So congratulations, girls. As the cars roll out, they'll be on the first of 3 pace laps. We're going to step aside just for a matter of moments. But when we come back, we'll be going racing here at Indianapolis. With 1 lap to go before we go green here at the Freedom 100, let's set this 24-car field for you. There you see the front row. We've talked about both of those gentlemen, Ken Losh and Alex Lloyd.
Row 2, we got Heidi Mututo, Mike Potekin.
And on row 3, Wade Cunningham and Logan Gomez. And you know something, guys, as we watch the grid roll through here, there's a lot of things that these drivers are going to experience here today, much like the IndyCar drivers did. We talked a little bit on the opening just about gear ratios and drafting and all that sort of thing. And that's exactly what they had to get right in their final practice also. To see Allenser Jr. the third. You know that Allenser Jr. himself will be out here watching his son go around and hopefully get a victory here. But aero balance is so important. The drafting is so important here. All the things that you learn in a big car are what these guys are really focusing on right now in this junior formula with the Indy Pro Series, because it's the same sort of things and diligence that they have to be able to make sure they go fast in the big stuff.
Well, Scott, you know, every single race here at Indianapolis so far has been run by the pole. Ken Losh is on the front row right now, but Alex Lloyd has won all the races. So Lloyd's definitely going to try to outrun him getting their turn 1.
All right, as they come out of turn number 4, they'll form up 80 feet approximately between the rows. You'll hear the command and the green flag, and we will be underway here at Indianapolis.
Green flag, starter, green flag.
With the Freedom 100.
There's a penalty right there, guys.
And just what they were talking about in the drivers' meeting, patience, patience, patience. And we have none of it at the very beginning of the race, although we are still green.
Well, Marty, it's a penalty for the 27 of Wade Cunningham because you are not allowed to pass before you get to the start line on the initial start. Restarts is something different, so we'll have to see if they go ahead and penalize him.
And Wade Cunningham is our winner of this race last year. So as the caution has come out, the cars start to check up. So everybody will slow down and we'll get things sorted out. And the very thing they talked about in the drivers' meeting, Wade Cunningham, of all people, is the one who pulls it off. I would have expected a rookie.
A rookie, especially when you have the 15 rookies here in this field. And you know something, you know, the John Lewis said this morning, he was very specific about it. He had one of the best drivers meetings I think I've ever attended in this Pro Series. And I said to him afterward, I said, man, that is really laid out well. These guys should know what's going on. But in the situation there, as you can see some damage, that is a situation where that should not happen. You don't win this race on the first turn or the first lap, and it's one of the things that actually they said. Now, on your right-hand side of the screen, you can see the 27. It looks to me like he may have actually passed before he got to the start line, and then he goes and crowds everybody because he's trying to get himself into the middle of the track to enter into turn 1.
And that's Mike Potikin that he gets into in the 53 car, and it just clips the front wing. Here it is from a different angle.
Now, guys, he pulled out 3 wide, clipped the whole thing. In fact, look at that, Marty. Watch this debris getting ready to go up and close right there. Slams up against the car behind him. But Scott, it looks like he didn't take the lead at the start-finish line, but he did pull out to make the pass.
Well, that's going to be something that's going to be at the discretion for the IRL officials for the Indy Pro Series here.
Now, this is not an easy change. Unlike an Indy car where they're used to doing a lot of pit stops, normally if you pit, you lose. And notice that they have to, each individual nut has to be taken off, and now here comes the other one.
You know, and here's a situation where they actually end up having just the power gun to help the system with that, but it's a long delay.
All right, so we're going to step aside. We're under our first caution on lap number 1. Alex Lloyd has the lead here at Indy. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the Freedom 100 as we are under our first caution. We're getting ready for a restart. And there is Hideki Muto. He had to come into the pits. And I think it was because of, yes, take a look. He had a tire that was cut in that contact from the first lap incident in the straightaway.
You know, this is very different than the IndyCar Series. All these guys have to do this by hand. On the IndyCar Series, obviously, you go out there with the air tools, you take those wheel nuts off, and then you get the pit stop done a lot quicker, Marty.
Green flag flies. We're back racing. All the cars, all 24, are still on the lead lap. We can tell you Wade Cunningham is at the rear of the field. So is Mike Potikin and Hideki Muto. And once the green flag flies now, you can pass anywhere.
Anytime you see the green flag or you hear it over the radio system where it's green, even if you are further back into the turn, back in turn 4, you are allowed to pass anywhere on the race course once it's green on the restart.
Well, Hideki Muto and Wade Cunningham coming from the back of the pack, they're really going to have to rely on the draft to get them back up to the front of this field with only it being a 40-lap race.
You see the 5 right there. That's Andrew Prendeville as he's trying to get a nose in underneath. He's got the low line but can't complete the pass. Meanwhile, the front 2 are starting to pull away. Got a big gaggle in the middle of this field.
And that's what I love about these cars, guys, you know, because they actually are a little bit slower than the Indy cars. These guys can run 2 side by side going through the turn. There's lots of cars, lots of drafting going on. But as we see right now, squeezing down towards the wall, this is a situation where the wheels are getting very close. Still going into turn 1, driven down towards the grass. Still going down to turn 1, and here we go.
Hang on.
Hangs onto it. Man, that guy gets a Star Award, Rusty.
And I never see an Indy car get loose. We got a caution on the track right now, but that was an unbelievable save right there. He was completely dead sideways and gathered that thing back up.
And did you notice the 27 right there going through your screen? He managed to pick up about 5 spots so far. Unbelievable action here early in lap 5 of 40 in the Freedom 100.
And that's what Cunningham needed, and that's what Hideki Muto needed too, to get caught back up to the field and knock some of these positions out, Marty.
And now you can see the right rear flat is going to end up, what's going to happen in this situation with Ryan Justice. Watch this. The front wing is just going to slice the back of the tire. The wing goes in the air. He slices that right rear tire on the 38 car of Ryan Justice, and that's what causes him to go sideways. And that is the save of the day, or the save of the year, really, because remember, that's going at about 175, 80 miles an hour. There's that right rear tire that's flat. You can see it's soft, and that's why his left front's sort of in the air a little bit. There again, try to stay in the lead lap. Come into the pit lane. Don't go over the pit speed limit. There again, the guys have to use manual tools to get this tire changed, and hopefully he can get back up to the tail end of the pack before it goes back to green.
Well, that was hard to believe how that wing just barely got that right rear tire and sliced it down just like that. It wasn't a slow leak. It blew that baby out immediately.
Oh, and it turned it sideways, and he's in a situation where he thought, what is this all about?
So you can see as he works his way into pit lane, he'll try and stay on the lead lap. But meanwhile, we'll tell you, Wade Cunningham moved up to 19th on that restart. We're going to keep an eye on him. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we are under our second caution, and this is Bobby Wilson's team, and they've got a major issue.
And this is a major issue. This is panic. This is actually not having the wing actually pre-fitted to the car, as we were talking about Rusty on break. He just went down a lap. It should have been as simple as coming in, taking the front wing off, and then turning around and putting a new one on. But that's not what ended up happening. Here's the situation when you're third on the high side, and the car comes down just in front of you, like we saw there on the 38 with Ryan Justice. It cut his his right rear tire, sent Ryan Justice sideways. We said that was the save of the day, absolutely. And here's the situation, which is the end result of it, with Bobby Wilson not getting the wing on the car, and now it's coming to green flag, and there we go.
And we had one car that just was like snail's pace. That was our pole sitter, Ken Losh. He just got snookered on the restart, and he is heading for pit lane. So there's obviously a problem with our pole sitter.
Well, this will be the race where the pole sitter will not end up winning the event here. That's the first in history.
And Ken Losh just got done telling everybody, I got a great car. It still feels good. It's behind Alex Lloyd at that point. It all goes this way.
And what it's done, Alex has just checked out, got great action on behind him. As there you can see a pass going down the back straightaway. The 34 of John Brownson trying to get around.
Well, if anybody's going to catch Alex Lloyd, Marty, they got to get the job done now. Whether you got to go 2 wide, 3 wide, whatever it takes, because this cat's going to run away and get away from everybody.
Oh, and now Wade Cunningham. Remember, he had moved to the back of the field. Now he has a cut right rear tire, so his day is going to be over because we're going to stay green.
Well, interesting to note, I wonder if that's actually from contact with another car or if that's maybe some debris on the course from one of these previous incidents that we had.
We'll have to wait and see. No yellow out as far as a debris caution, so the racing continues here at Indianapolis in the Freedom 100. And there is Cunningham. He may bring out the yellow because he's not going to make it to the pits.
Now, if he tries to go much faster, this tire is going to shred.
Watch this. See the guys coming from the back just fan out. They're so close to the car in front, and they turn around and fan out. I've had this situation before. You're looking in your mirror saying, guys, I hope you're watching. You hope the spotters who are up top are telling them, hey, slow car on the backstretch.
Well, he's made it no problem getting in. And as you can see, Wilson's going to have to take this car back behind the wall. It's not going to get fixed in time.
Jamie, what's going on with the one car?
Well, Bobby Wilson, guys, third in points. His problems just keep getting worse. He came in with that broken nose. The team had not fit the nose that you talked about. Then he stalled the car trying to exit. The team ran him down pit road trying to get her restarted. Did not work. They have to back the car all the way up, guys. I think his day is almost done.
Well, he's already 4 laps down. Meanwhile, on the left side of the screen, you saw the big gap between Alex Lloyd in first and the 9 car Chris Vesta in second. One guy we got to give a tip of the hat is third place, the number 11 of Jaime Hamra. He has moved up to third, and if you remember, he started this race way back in the 18th position. Meanwhile, there's Wade Cunningham, the defending event winner here, struggling his way back to pit lane. He is already 3 laps down, about to go 4. Also on the right side, Ken Losh, as they continue to work on that car.
Well, Marty, you talk about the 11 of Kamara. It's interesting to note, though, one of his really mentors, if you will, is Tony Kanaan. And he spends a lot of time with Tony. Tony really helps manage his career a little bit, so not surprising to see that actually he's come through the field and he's good on starts and restarts, because that's one of Tony's strong traits that Tony has.
I think Brienne's finally been able to catch up and find out what happened with our pole sitter.
Well, guys, they are still trying to figure out what caused this car to die. Ken Losh was barely going to make it into his pit stall as he just coasted down pit lane. The car completely died on him. They checked the power switch. That didn't seem to be the problem. They've taken out the side pods, the cover to the engine, and they have yet to figure out what caused the problem. But even if they got that figured out, Losh said the gears are completely messed up, so things don't look good for Ken Losh.
So, in essence, he went from penthouse to outhouse, and Wade Cunningham is out of the car, and there he is. And I'm sure he is not going to be thrilled at all as the helmet comes off. Meanwhile, another car slowing down.
Yeah, Sean Guthrie blew a right front tire out. Now he's slowing down, trying to get back to pit road. That tire's just about ready to come apart.
And Guthrie was 5th at the time that this happened. So again, another shake-up near the front.
Well, you can see the crinkling of the sidewall of the tire, and you can certainly see it visually, and actually in a race car you can feel it before you'll ever see it. But here again, I'm starting to wonder, we've had a couple of incidents now, do we have a situation where there is some debris in the course given these flats, guys?
All right,
or was it a mistake here? Let's wait and see.
Yellow car, top of your screen, and that's the problem. When you scrape the wall, you have a tendency to do some damage.
Well, I'm wondering if the tire is actually soft before that, because the car is not turning for him going up towards the wall. See how much the tire is turned? The tire is soft, guys, before he goes into turn.
Good observation, Scott. Lap 15 of 40, and it has been event-filled. We've spent more time patrolling pit lane than we have out on the track. Let's set the top 5 for you. It's Alex Lloyd in front of Chris Festa by 2 seconds. Then it's Jaime Camara, Matt Yaskell, Andrew Prendeville. That is your top 5 here at the Freedom 100 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Stay with us. After 15 of 40 laps here in the Indy Pro Series, the Freedom 100 here on Carb Day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It has been event-filled as Alex Lloyd, who's won every race so far this year, all 3 of them, both road course and oval. There he is. Coming through is second place, Chris Festa. If that paint scheme with the number 9 looks familiar, and you say, man, that looks like Chip Ganassi Racing, you'd be right, Jamie Little.
That's right. Just to prove how much momentum this Indy Pro Series is gaining, Chip Ganassi has 8 cars racing this weekend. 3 in the Cup Series, 2 in the Busch Series. He has 2 in the Indy 500, and this is his first year with a car in the Indy Pro Series. Chip, first time we've seen you in Indy up here on the box for the Indy Pro Series race. You guys are running second. What is it about this series we're seeing you guys get more involved?
Well, you know, it's just Chris is doing a good job driving the cars. A couple people fell out in front of him. He made up 2 spots on the restart, so that's about where we are. We got a little more downforce on the lead car right now, and that third place car is giving us a little run right now, but we should be all right. We got a long way to go.
Is this perhaps a good series for you to see the up-and-coming talent? Maybe Chris Festa could end up in one of your IndyCar cars one day?
Never know. Maybe one of these days he could. I'm not sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, he's up there. Guys, he's running second. They want to get that first win for Chip Ganassi Racing.
And while you were talking to Chip, Andrew Prendeville in the number 5 car moved up to 4th place. And you wanted to talk about the connection between the Indy Pro Series and the IndyCar Series. Take a look at this from Andretti Green, Chip Ganassi's team, Panther Racing, Ray Hall Letterman, Playa Dell, and Sam Schmidt, and Sam Schmidt's team out front.
You know, as we talked about, 7 drivers have graduated from the IndyCar Series, the Pro Series itself, actually up to the IndyCar Series, and some great battling side-by-side going on now. And that's what the team owners are looking for, drivers that have the experience on the oval, so when they put them into an oval situation in IndyCar, it's not all brand new for them.
Wow, side by side through the corners, and we're talking about speeds in the neighborhood of 185 miles an hour, and both cars stuck.
And that's the one thing I like about this series, Marty. These guys can run side by side through the corners. You don't see it that much in the IndyCar series. The cars are going so fast, not much grip, but these cars, a lot more grip.
Well, and that was the 53 of Mike Potikin. Remember, Potikin was at the dead back of this field. That pass right there moved him up to the 10th spot.
You talk about the difference in the cars, and that's the interesting thing. Remember, it's about 40 miles an hour difference, so still a great training ground for these drivers, but they're doing it at a slower speed. So if they do make a mistake, then you end up being able to maybe not hit the wall as hard.
Take a look at Jonathan Klein as he is in this car for the first time. Started 24th, has moved himself into the 8th position, and we're halfway through this race. At that pace, he may be able to catch up to the leaders.
Right now, I'm taking a look at Alex Lloyd and Chris Festa. As we're watching Jonathan Klein, their speeds are almost identical. So Alex Lloyd and Festa, bumper to bumper in speed. But right now, Klein, he is looking real good, too. I mean, his last lap was just a little over 186 miles an hour, very close to the top 2 leaders.
And Andrew Prendeville, while all this is going on, continues to march forward in this race.
You know, we talk about the difference in these cars all the time. You know, the Indy cars with the Honda engines are 650 plus horsepower. These guys are dealing with about 420 horsepower. So, as I mentioned, the difference in speed of 40 miles an hour, and that's one of the reasons why you end up finding that speed. And the cars themselves are a little bit different. The tires are a little bit smaller. The cars are a little bit smaller.
Take a look at Andrew Prendeville right now. This kid is on the move. He's one of our rookies. He has worked himself up to 3rd. Look at his last lap at 186.2. Alex Lloyd, of course, has tried to check out on the field, but Prendeville keeps picking everybody off position by position here on lap 21 of 40.
Well, Marty, he's just outrun Chris Festa by over a mile per hour, so he's definitely running him down right now. He's matched the speed of leader Alex Lloyd, so he's definitely got a good car. It's handling well through the corners, good straightaway speed. If we get another caution flag and these guys get bunched back up, This 5 car, Andrew Pettival, could be right there.
That's what I was just going to ask you, Rusty. As a driver in that situation, you got a fast car. What are you hoping for? You're hoping for a yellow.
You're hoping for a yellow. That's exactly right. Get me back in the ball game, guys.
And Prendeville drives for Ray Hall Letterman Racing. Hey, we've caught up with last year's winner, Wade Cunningham.
That's right, guys. Wade, unfortunately, a cut tire has ended your day here today. What happened? How did your tire get cut out there?
Well, it really started right at the start of the race. We got a great start, but the officials deemed that we jumped it, so they put us to the back. And when you're back there, stupid stuff happens. And we were coming up for the restart, and whoever's behind me just drove into my right rear and cut it. So that was us done.
So what were the conditions like on the track? We were wondering if maybe there's some debris out there, or what the conditions are like out there.
Oh, the track's better than it was yesterday when we qualified. So, it should have been a good race. I'm just disappointed I'm not in it.
Thanks, Wade.
All right, thanks for the update as you see the battle closing in for second and third as this battle continues to get a little closer. In fact, it's only a touch under a second between second and third.
Already when, Wade's talking about the track being better. Remember, the Indy cars just ran earlier today in their final run before the race, so there's lots of rubber in the track and lots of grip, and that's what these guys sort of love about it, is that they follow the IndyCar series, get to watch the cars out in the racetrack, and get on the track directly after them. The track is really probably in fine condition right now.
That was Alex Lloyd putting the 3-car of Jaeger a lap down. Now there is his wife. If you were with us at the beginning of our segment, we showed you how they had made the move over here to the States, and she came along with him. And there goes Prendeville in the 5-car. He's now moved up to second, guys. So Prendeville, who started 10th, is now second.
And he's cut the lead down to just about 2.6 seconds, so he's chipping away at it right now. So does he have enough time to be able to get it done and get caught back up to the tail end of Alex Lloyd? And they, like I always say, catching up is one thing, but being able to pass is another. But right now he seems to be able to run at least at the same pace, or maybe even a little bit faster than Alex Lloyd.
Well, right now we got to race again, because Andrew Prendeville, that last lap, guys, was almost 2 miles an hour faster than Alex Lloyd, so he's definitely running Lloyd down. And I think he's got a little draft advantage right there with Chris Festa helping him.
Well, remember what Chip Ganassi said. He said the 9 car that they have, Chris Festa, was running too much downforce on the car, so that means the car in front now is probably going to give him an opportunity to draft, which he's doing at this point in time. But you got to think about it a little bit. Right now, with Andrew Prendeville being a little bit quicker than me, maybe we should just go nose to tail and work in unison, even though we're not teammates, to run up and catch Alex Lloyd before he gets away too far, and then maybe I'll have the opportunity to improve my position.
Well, they better get back in line right now, because that side-by-side run they're doing, the leader's just going to run away. So they got to get in a tight draft, hook up, run this cat back down, and get right on the bump of Lloyd. If they don't do that, Lloyd's just going to drive off.
See, in the interval that we see right there between first and then going to the group that's second and third right now, Prendeville and Festa, this is one thing where the team managers and also the spotters can help these drivers and give them that information. Remember, they're new to this. A lot of these drivers in their early 20s, this is a big event for them, and they're not sort of thinking about teamwork and that sort of thing at this time, Marty.
Well, one of the most successful owners in this Indy Pro Series is Sam Schmidt. His man's out in front right now, Jamie.
And Alex Lloyd, first time driving for Sam Schmidt. Sam, we're watching Alex just checked out from the start of the race. What has he been like working with this year? It's the second year of the Indy Pro Series, and he's dominated, winning every single race.
Well, it's a total dream season so far. I mean, hopefully we can end this deal today, too, and get that championship trophy back here that we missed up here last year. But he's totally committed, totally dedicated. He's in the shop every other day. He's just trying to make the car faster. He's a total package for sure.
Now you're running in the Indy 500 on Sunday with Buddy Lazier, a proven champion. How important has it been for you to mesh these two series and change information and have your young drivers work with Buddy?
Well, I think you're seeing it here today. Both Logan and Alex are doing Alex is just out there saving his tires, and Logan's getting a real good learning session here today. So I think that interaction with Buddy on a daily basis has been good for the team, but good for them, their maturity level. I mean, clearly they both learned a lot from it.
Sam Schmidt, such an inspirational story, guys. Has his hands full here. He wants to see his driver bring home a win here in Indianapolis.
Well, Well, so far he's doing just fine. Thank you very much. Alex Lloyd out in front by 3.5 seconds over Chris Festa, Andrew Prendeville, Jaime Camara, and Jasko. That's the 5 that are leading. But Alex Lloyd is in control. Does he make it 4 in a row and tie a series record? Stay with us and find out. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as you can take a look at Alex Lloyd, this is what he's trying to accomplish. If he wins here today, and he's in control right now by 3.6 seconds, he would tie Thiago Medeiros for consecutive wins in the series. And you can see P.J. Chesson, who's running the Indy 500. Mark Taylor also have 3. Do you know who snapped the streak for Thiago Medeiros? It was the late Paul Dana.
Excellent driver. You know, you talked about Thiago Medeiros, and that's the year that he went on to win the championship in 2004. And the team that he was driving for, Sam Schmidt Motorsports.
All right, let's drop back a little bit and pick up on the 11 car, as there is Jaime Camara. And you can see he has fallen back. He is in 4th place, and Michael Andretti, the owner of that car, and Brianne has caught up with him.
Guys, we talked about the IndyCar Series team looking into the Indy Pro Series as a development series. Michael, tell me how important the Indy Pro Series is as a development series for IndyCar.
Well, I think it's important. You know, it's not only great for training drivers, but it's great for training, you know, mechanics and also teams, you know, to hopefully make it up one day. And I think it's great how strong that the series is coming. So it's a good sign for the future.
Now, we talked about your son as a former graduate of this series and now one of the front runners in the IndyCar Series. What are your thoughts on Jaime's future as a racer?
I have high hopes for Jaime in the future. You know, we're watching him real close, and you know, look at what he did today. You know, we had a problem in qualifying with his car, and you know, in about 4 laps he was up to 4th or 5th, so pretty good.
Thanks, Michael.
And we have caution on the race course. As you can see, Joey Scarallo in the 15 has come to a stop. Looks like some bald spots on the tires, flat spots there, especially on the left front. It's going down. Don't see a lot of damage to the car. This is another one of the Rahal Letterman entries.
It may have been in a situation where he actually, because of traffic, got himself in the wrong spot on the racetrack. It looks like he's locked the wheels up, and that was the only reason for that hole in that Firestone tire, because what did you end up doing generally is locking them up. We'll see if we have a replay that maybe that can show it for us. And here we go. Oh, there's the incident. 2 cars touching, and he gets his foot on the brakes. See, he's locked up that left front tire, and the tire is just, because it's only the thickness of a credit card, because they're not used here obviously as we do with road cars, they're very thin tires, that tire will actually just disintegrate like it did, and that's a big hole through there, guys. There's no air left there.
Rusty, I'm amazed, because it does, looking at that car right now, it didn't look like it had that much impact, and I was expecting more damage after we saw that replay.
Well, Marty, when he bumped together coming down the back straightaway, you notice it. He went off to the right, and the weight transfer of that car shifted all over to the left front tire. There was no weight much, and when he locked those tires up, it blew that left front tire up. But that was caused from weight transfer as he was steering away from the other car on the back straightaway. But a pretty good slam.
Well, we're under our 3rd caution here on lap 32 of 40, and the Delphi safety crew is going to be working pretty quickly here to get this cleaned up so we can go back to green flag racing for the last few laps.
You know, the interesting thing is it's now going to become a shootout here for the last 3 or 4 laps, whatever we get when we go back to green flag racing, because now obviously the car's going to be bunched up, and Alex Lloyd is going to look in his mirrors and see Chris Festa and Andrew Prendeville, and in the situation it's going to become a bit of a shootout and a run down to turn 1 when they get the green.
Yeah, he loses that 3.6 second lead that he was comfortably in control over Chris Festa. And as far as Andrew Prendeville, maybe that's the opening he's looking for. There you see him, the rookie, in 3rd place, our highest running rookie. And that's after 32 of 40 laps, as we are under yellow for the 3rd time here at the Freedom 100 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And there's Chris's wife, or Alex's wife, hoping for another win. Back here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, we are under our 3rd caution after Joey Scarallo managed to slide up against the wall after some contact. He's okay. The car's out of contention. The lights are out on the pace car, so it means we're going to go back to green flag racing. We're working lap 35 of 40, so this is going to turn into a real shootout. Now, Alex Lloyd has one advantage at the front of the pack, guys. There is a lap car in second place, Sean Guthrie. That's that yellow machine you see there. And then the 9 car is second place, Chris Festa, followed by Prendeville in third. So big advantage for Lloyd.
And this creates problems for a second and third place because essentially the go zone is actually down towards turn 3, which we see off the horizon there, 3 and 4. And what's going to end up happening is that he'll get stuck behind Sean Guthrie possibly in those turns before they get to the long 5/8 of a mile straightaway to maybe get a chance to get past him.
Jamie, you got an interesting story on what Chris Festa is going to be doing on Sunday?
That's right. It's all about the developmental series. So these guys are working with the IndyCar Series drivers and learning as they go. So right now, the spotter for Chris Festa is Packy, Glenn Wheeler. He's also the spotter for Scott Dixon. Well, on Sunday, Chris Festa will change his hat, and he will be a spotter for Scott Dixon for the Indy 500, and the green flag is out.
And that's because you need 2 spotters here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. One in turns 1 and one in turn 3. And green flag comes out. And Guthrie does the nice thing and gets out of the way, but Alex Lloyd still puts the hammer down and has already opened up about 6 car lengths.
Well, Chris Festa just broke loose too. He just got out in front. He's got a good run right now. I was worried about him getting behind Sean Guthrie, but Guthrie moved out of the way.
Did you see Jaime Camara? I thought he hit the wall in the 11 car.
So tucked up behind the tail end of Chris Festa, probably had just a lot of push coming off the turn, and there you can see.
We've got caution on the racetrack, and the word is we have had our first rain shower here in, what, 3 weeks?
Yes.
So they're going to slow this field down with 4 laps to go. Now the question will be, do they bring it to a halt so that we can try and get this done under green, or are we going to do this one under yellow?
I can tell you, as you see the yellow lights flashing in the back of those cars, just an indicator for all the drivers that they see in the car in front. And here's a situation Alex Lloyd thinks, I think it's just going to be a situation where it's going to be yellow all the way to the end, and that's what he wants. Certainly because he knows he's going to have the opportunity to win this thing if it does stay yellow.
So, with 3 laps officially to go, Alex Lloyd in control. This would be his 4th win of the year. Wife Sam is very happy if it does occur this way. Although we'll wait for official word from Indy Pro Series officials.
And Chris Festa, on the other hand, what he's looking forward to is an opportunity not to have that lap car in front. And you can see with Chip Ganassi taking off his headgear, I guess maybe he believes it's over too, but I'd love to see this in a shootout, guys. 2-lap shootout, boy, that would have just been absolutely great.
Yeah, so would I, especially the way Jaime Camara was trying to get back into the mix there in 3rd place behind Festa, and then our leader, Alex Lloyd. Now, the other winners of this race, Ed Carpenter. Yes, you'll see him Sunday in the Indianapolis 500. He won in 2003. Thiago Medeiros in 04. Jaime Camara, man in 3rd place right now in 05. Wade Cunningham last year. Look at Sam. Sam saying, oh, we can't get these last laps out of the way fast enough. As there you see, he has 3 cars in this race. There's also the Indy Pro Series runs the F1 weekend. And in 2006, guess who won that race, guys, here at the road course? Alex Lloyd. So he was actually 2 in a row here. Let's check in with Jamie. I think she's with Sam.
Well, I'm not sure if Sam Schmidt wants to count his chickens before they're hatched. Right now, I see your team has been celebrating. Sam, Alex's wife, is celebrating. What do you think, Sam?
This is it. Let's celebrate until I see that checkered. And the rain just stopped, so I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys do a green-white checker, but he's done a hell of a job no matter what. Thanks to Lucas Oil, I just let everybody for putting this thing together, because doing the Indy cars, all the same guys working on these 3 cars for Indy cars, so it was quite the circus this morning with Carb Day, and if we can come away with a win today, it'd be really special.
I got good news for you. Race control just said it's yellow to the end. Congratulations.
My God, they finally made a smart decision right now. Cut that.
But he's got to finish. He's got to keep all 4 wheels on.
He's still got to come across the checkered, and you'll see a pretty big celebration when we get that done. I got Forrest Lucas over here. He hasn't won here yet in his car, so he's pretty good day.
Tell me what kind of information you're going to take from today, maybe, and take it to Sunday for Buddy Lazier to try to win here again.
I'll tell you the truth, we've been learning from Buddy. I mean, this is 15th time, and he went out first session this morning. He's like, hey, I got way too much grip in the car. We got to loosen this thing up, and it just had way too much drag. So, I mean, nobody's got more experience here than him. But we will combine all the information, and Tim Neff, that's engineering the Iceland car, and Lucas Oil car is the same as Buddy's engineer. So, if we can go forward and be there all day and get a good solid, top 7 or 8 out of it, that would be excellent on Sunday. That'd be like a win.
Yes, and you can go celebrate tonight. Have an off day tomorrow, and then good luck to you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Sam Schmidt, guys. Alex Lloyd, his first win was on the road course here 1 year ago here in Indianapolis. He becomes the first driver to win both on the road course and oval here at IMS.
And it will be his 6th career win, 4th in a row this season. So he manages to tie Thiago Medeiros. And here comes the white flag and the yellow here at the starters platform. Paul Blevins, the official starter, waving, and 1 lap to go. This one will finish under yellow, a bit anticlimactic. You heard Sam reference Forrest Lucas, the name on the car. That is the same Forrest Lucas that the new football stadium, they bought naming rights to that for a few pennies here in Indianapolis. Also, his son Morgan Lucas runs Top Fuel in the NHRA drag racing series, and Forrest has become a huge supporter of all forms of motorsports, and here he is. He's going to have a winning car with his logo on it at Indianapolis.
Isn't that a cool deal? And these cars are pretty fast when you think about the speed that they qualified on this race, 188 miles an hour. And obviously we're at 225 with the Indy cars. And Rusty, I did look up the track record for Cup, and it's a little slower than these guys. It's 186 miles an hour.
I knew there had to be a dig coming somewhere.
That does happen. I'll tell you, the guy I'm pretty impressed with, though, was Hideki Muto. I mean, he came from the back of that pack all the way up to the top 5. Let's talk about Alonso Jr. the third. I mean, he made it up in 8th position. That was a good run for him also. These guys gained a lot of experience. It's a short race, but I think it was enough that the owners on pit road got to look out and see what type of talent is out there, and kind of judge how they ran.
And the nice thing about this series is that it runs almost in unison with all the rest of the IndyCar races all throughout the year, whether it's a mile track, a situation like maybe in Milwaukee or what have you, and the drivers do get an opportunity to showcase their talents in front of all the IndyCar owners all the time. And there's the number 12 car of Al Unser Jr., or actually Al Unser III, his father Al Unser Jr., obviously a rival of mine back in the day.
24 years old. I remember when he was on tricycles running around the racetrack, and here he is at Indianapolis running on the same track his father will run for the 19th time on Sunday. The checkered flag flies, as does the yellow, and congratulations to Alex Lloyd as he wins his 4th in a row and 2nd in a row here at Indianapolis, which includes the road course win during the F1 race weekend. And wife Sam is extremely happy as they'll take home the winner's check. Chris Vesta in 2nd, Jaime Camara in 3rd, Andrew Prendeville in 4th, and as Rusty pointed out, a great comeback for Hideki Muto to drive his way back to 5th. We still have a lot more. If you take a look at the final results, don't go anywhere. We still have the pit crew competition. We'll talk to our winner.
Soon, but first we got the 91st run of the Indy 500 to get done.
That's for sure. As you see the celebration still continuing down in the winner's circle, let's check in with Brianne Pedigo.
Alex, congratulations. I don't know if you know this, but our other pit reporter, Jamie, noted earlier that you are the first person now to have conquered both the road course at Indy and the oval.
I know. I was told that before the race that this would be possible, and I can barely even talk. I'm just so happy. I've won a few races before, but I've never experienced a feeling like this of winning here at Indy on the oval. This is the next best thing to winning the 500 for me, so this is a really special time, and just great thanks to all the team. I mean, it's just, the car was so good, and it's been so good all year, and they've made my life so much easier this year. I was just able to go out there, drive around, and they gave me a fantastic car, so just great thanks to all the team.
Well, congratulations. This makes 4 in a row, guys, for Alex Lloyd, and today he's about $40,000 richer. Guys?
And in 2 of those races, he led every single lap, St. Petersburg and here. As we take a look at the final results, what jumped out at you today?
Yeah, always have to look at the Unser name. Anytime an Unser name is here at Indianapolis, it usually is magic. So hopefully in this near future, we'll get an opportunity to see Unser the third here at Indy in the IndyCar.
In the bottom part of the field, a lot of guys with a lot of trouble. As you can see, 4 cars did not make it to the finish line. And as we get ready now to set the stage for our pit crew competition, let's shift gears a little bit and bring